We are here. That just ended abruptly. We are here. We are live. And if yes, we are. I'm going to go with we're on the right Instagram. So good evening to those of you on YouTube, and good evening to those of you joining us on Instagram. We are here for another show. It is another Thursday night, as twins like to call it, Turn Up Thursday.
Turn
And so
up.
hopefully y'all be ready to turn up on this topic. Because I got some questions for the men, as I normally do. The men are here to help us out, ladies. For those of us who are trying to be dumb for dumb, somebody's wife in the next little bit, the men are here to help us. And I have some questions for the men. But before I go into that, twins, how was your week?
Week is good. All's well. My end. Just really got back into the house. My son had his first game, soccer game. They lost 6-4, so it was a high
Oh,
scoring game.
that's pretty high scoring because they're
Yeah,
they're 11, 10.
yeah. My son's 11, so
Okay.
it's like I guess 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 age group, co-ed, so it's boy and girl. It was a very exciting game. The parents we was turned up on the sidelines, but it was good. But
I
besides that,
love that
all
for
is well.
them.
And
It's
how about
football
you?
season, so I know you're happy. I know it's
Oh yeah, and
football
it's football
season.
season. So
So.
yes, I'm always representing my Steelers,
Yes,
and
you
I,
are.
I do got the game up Green Bay and go
Uh,
Commanders. So I'm going with the Commanders tonight for all the football heads out there. What's going on, Jeff, and everyone?
wow, I feel you. I was okay. Good evening to you as well, Jeff. I cannot go for the Commanders, so I say nothing. I say go Green Bay. That's what I say.
Go
No
Pack.
going for the Commanders.
Oh, okay.
Go Green Bay over here. So see, I even got on green. Isn't that something?
Hmm.
My week, my week has been busy. It's been a busy time here. I've also been a little bit under the weather. It's been a week, to be honest. Like it's been busy and under the weather. There's a lot of things happening, but we're here and we're surviving, and I'm always ready for a good Thursday night conversation, because I do believe, because of the conversation on this show, I'm going to get myself married and we're going to get other people married.
Amen
In
to that.
Jesus'
Go.
name, amen. Okay? Because
People who's married already married, they gonna stay married.
they don't stay married, and they're going to help us wanting to be married, unmarried people get married and counsel. Because that's actually, Jeff, one of the things I would love to do, um, Jeff, if you're interested, is almost have almost like a marriage counseling session where people who are looking to be married can ask yourself, or yourself and your wife, if she's comfortable coming on, have conversations. There's a few people who've hit me up who said that they want to be on the show. They want to partake in discussions. And I think that, at least I know for myself, that is definitely one of the discussion I'd like to have, is bringing on a married couple to really counsel us and talk about what's keeping them married, some of the missteps they're seeing out there in the dating market. So, Jeff, if you're interested, let me know, because I know what it would at least help myself. If it helps nobody else, it's going to help me. But I digress. So, again, for those of you who are joining us on Instagram, feel free to ask any questions that you would like. I am looking over the Instagram feed and I will ask them here. Or if you want, you can click on the link on the Instagram page to come into our YouTube, where you can also click on the link on our YouTube to join the conversation, because we love for those of you who are here to join the conversation.
Um,
So let's do it. Intentionality. This is something we talk about all the time on this show. And great, Jeff, you are interested. Can you shoot me an email, just FYF the show at gmail.com, and let me know your availability on one of these Thursday nights to come on, and I can start recruiting some people who are interested to really come on the show and really ask some questions. So FYF the show at gmail.com, and we'll make something work. So Going back to the topic at hand. So we talk about intentionality and intentions a lot on this show. And I saw a clip which I'm going to play shortly, and it made me really think, sometimes women might mistake signs of intentionality as being too good to be true. And now we have all these new words like love bombing, gaslighting, which to me, if I just bring it back in the day, means you're being played, right? So all this love bombing and people are gaslighted, like uh, you're being played. So I wanted to talk tonight about signs of intentionality versus being played. Is there a way to tell the difference? Because for those of us who want to be coupled, who want to be married, and I can speak as a woman and I will also speak as Toshiba, I think the biggest thing that people fear is the heartbreak, right? If you are someone like myself who loves love, like I love seeing other people in love, I love being in love myself. But the one thing I will tell you that I would sit and talk to my therapist about, because I believe in therapy, everybody, um, was the end of something. It was always like I have all these emotions and then there's the end. And it was the end that I feared more than anything else because the end came with heartbreak and all of these different things. And I feel like there are a lot of people and women who are putting up defense mechanisms because not their fear of the relationship, but their fear of their demise of the relationship, and also, quite frankly, some of us just sometimes aren't savvy enough to decipher when a man, again, is being intentional or when he's just a player and he's going to play our ass into that heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? So I am glad that Jeff is on. I'm sure Mr. Mitchell will jump on at some point. Shelby might jump in, a few others. But I do want to talk twins because again, you were married for 14 years. You know, you're looking to remarry, and I really want to know from the men what are the signs. And from men, you can ask me questions about women. I think less women play men. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not out there dating women right now. So, but I would think less women play men than men play women. But I could be wrong. So if there are questions that the men want to know from me, absolutely, I'm very open to that. So I'm going to play this clip that kind of made me think about this conversation, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the clip. Give me 2 seconds, and I'm calling this clip. Oh no, I don't want to present anything. I just want to play a video. I just want a video. I just call this clip intentional. So here we go.
Ladies, let me explain something to you real quick. It ain't what that man called you, it's how he described you as a woman to his friends. You understand me? Listen, real careful, be careful. Because I don't even do girlfriends no more. I'm going to date the fuck out you, then I'm going to marry the fuck out you. Simple as that. My mama ain't even going to meet you. You going to already be my wife. Baby, who is this? That's my wife. When you get married? 3 days ago. I ain't even meet her. You ain't married, no. I am.
But he was actually very funny. What, thoughts on that clip?
Short and sweet, right to the point. Thoughts on the clip? I mean, as a man, he know what he
Mm-hmm.
wanted, right? So, I mean, everything he said makes sense. Um, like I said, when I got married, I was already married before I had the wedding. So, I almost want to say I was married before my mom met her, but I think my mom met her first. But anyway, but same process. Like, why am I waiting for your approval? At the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
I'm with this person for the rest of my life, so I don't need your approval. You understand what I'm saying? So, as far as men, women's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as men, I'm the one that chose you, and I wanted you, and like you said, he said, I'm not gonna play games with you. So, I'm gonna date the hell out of you, like you said. I'm gonna date you, and then you're gonna be my wife. And yeah, I don't have much to say there. He knew what he wanted. He was intentional. His actions show intentional.
And I love how you said like men can do this process differently. Because I can tell you, as a woman, there is that fear aspect that sometimes is bestowed upon women from other women. Girl, that's too fast. Girl, how do you know this man is not going to use you? Girl, how do you know this man isn't trying to play you? Girl, like really, you've only known him for 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever the period of time is that people have determined is too fast to move into something as serious as marriage. So when it comes to, a woman, especially in this short period of time, because for some reason there is this feeling that it takes like 2 years for a man to know that a woman has to go is going to be his wife, right? And there are people who say you need to go through all of the seasons, literally the seasons like winter, summer, spring, fall, those seasons. But they feel like there's a lot of things that come out. You have to have your first fight. You have to do all of these things before you can commit. And so there's people who put a timeline and say, yeah, within 2 years. But there are people who are meeting and within 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, they're like, yeah, this is the person I want to be with. So for people who have that mindset, what would you say as a man says to a woman, this man is intentional about you?
It would be the initial conversation, or once y'all start talking about relationship. I think I would believe it would be the initial conversation. You know, the infamous question we all ask. So, what are you looking for? Right. That question right there should let you know his intentionality with you. And if you say
Mm-hmm.
something like, he may not say I'm looking for a wife, but he may say I'm looking for something long term.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's what I said. I'm looking for something long term. I'm not trying to play. If I don't want, yeah, long term, long term, long term.
How do you know? Because here's the thing. This is where it gets tricky. So a man says he's looking for something long term. There are the women who will hear long term and add dot dot with me.
So, so I mean, that wouldn't be the first. So, as you're dating or not, as you're having a conversation, like the first conversation, you find out who she is and you find things out about her, right? Where she's from, she got brothers, sisters, what I mean, she has the kids. When you get those basic questions out the way, once
Mhm,
you get the basic stuff out the way, then you can move forward in your selection wise. Because of course, she's already passed the first selection, which is the look, right?
mhm, mhm,
You know what I'm saying? So once you got her number, all right, that's the first check mark is done. She get the look part. So boom. So then we start asking those questions. So I might ask you a rapid, like I might do like 21 questions, like a 50 cent type of thing, but I'm asking you rapid questions. You're asking me questions, and I'm asking fact fighting questions. I'm asking questions to pick
mhm,
your mind and see how you respond and what are your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what's your 3-year goal? Just to hear. I mean, it sounds generic, but based on someone's answer, you like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know, I'm just, yeah, it ain't gonna work out.
going with the flow. I
Yeah,
don't go with the
not go with
flow.
the flow.
Yeah,
But
I don't go
it's
with
like
the flow.
once I start asking these questions and you're kind of checking up things that I'm looking for, especially if I'm being intentional as far as wanting a wife or someone long term, I'm asking the questions that as we said before, I can marry you right now, and as long as you stay there, I'm good. So that's it. It's based on the questions. If he's not asking you questions that make you think, that's how you know.
Mm,
If he asks you
mm.
dumbass questions like, "Oh man, so tell me about," I ain't gonna. I'm just
Yeah,
straight.
we know the stupid. We know the stupid, but like the stupid body counts
There you
and
go.
that
These
ridiculous question,
stupid
which
questions.
we don't talk about on this show.
Yeah, like,
So,
how many tattoos you got? Oh, okay, where they at? Oh, let me see. You know where that's going. You know what I mean? Like that's the tattoo question is really to see the tattoo and see where your body and see your body. That has nothing to do about really trying to get to know you. Like that question is useless. You know what I'm saying? So
I,
yeah.
I listen. You just dropped a lot of things, and ladies, I hope you're listening because I think you are right. It is the questions, and you said something fact finding, and there are so many, on the other side of the internet, as I like to call it. On the other side of the internet, I hear things like, well, I don't want to date that feels like an interview. I don't want to have a conversation that feels like an interview. I'm just here to have fun, and I'm like, you're applying for a job. I know that's not sexy. I know the idea of a relationship or a marriage as a job. I just made it the least unsexiest thing ever, but it is. But it is. It is a job. It is a title. And Broken Berlin, you are killing me right now. Um, but it is a title and it is a job. Being someone's girlfriend, fiance, wife is a title, like being the vice president, the CEO, the director, the infrastructure coordinator. They're all titles. And again, I think it's so interesting that we are just so okay with chasing titles in jobs. But the moment we start talking about titles in relationships, it's like it's all of this, and I'm like, it is an upgrade. And so what you just talked about is a man who's looking for a woman to upgrade. He's looking to find out the crucial information to determine, is this someone I can build and grow my life with? Just like when we go into job interviews and they ask you a zillion million questions. I've been to several job interviews over the last few months, and I've been to many job interviews over my lifetime. There are deep, hard hitting questions that you know are coming when you are the candidate they want for the job. They want to almost eliminate you, and they ask you these questions. You know the buying signals, right? We have buying signals. So ladies, look for the buying signals, is what Twins is basically saying. Those questions that he's actually wanting to know, like, deeply about you, where your head is at. Do you guys have the same mindset, that type of thing? But let me ask you this. There are again women who will say, well, men are gonna ask me these questions and still play my ass. So they wanna find out these deep things about me. How do I know they're not asking me these questions to get inside my mind? How do I stop him from playing me? Because now I think he's asking those questions because he's being intentional. But what if he's not being intentional and he's just asking me these questions to seem like he's intentional? How do I know he's not just going to play me?
Well, you don't.
Is there a way to figure it out? Ooh,
You
okay.
just don't. It's the game of life. You just don't know. But I'll just say this: take that same risk you did with the other 50,000 boys and guys you talked to before him that wasn't being intentional at all with you, and give him a shot and see where it goes. I mean, it's hard to say. You got to use some type of common sense, but common sense ain't common for everyone. So there's no way to know that somebody play you. It's like you don't know why somebody cheats on you until it happens. Like you can't. If you go into a relationship and you're already thinking negative, then you might as well just pull out.
Ooh, what a
No
lot of
thought.
men should have done, but ooh, I digress.
I'm just saying, like, if honestly, if you thinking that every person you talk to is trying to get over you, then maybe you need to
Mm.
work on yourself. Maybe you need to find some inner peace or something going on with you, like, because everyone ain't out to get you. You're not that special, boo. If you
Oh.
were that special, you already been married by now. Let's call it what it is.
Mm.
I mean, I'm just saying, like they're trying to get me. Get what? The same thing you gave away for the first 20 dudes before me? Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? It ain't brand new. Okay, I digress. Sorry, go ahead.
Squirrel, squirrel. What I said, squirrel. Um, mm, here's, you just, yeah. Mm-hmm. You, I'm just gonna put it in women talk. Ladies, change your mindset when going in and meeting a man. If your mindset is negative, you're likely going to get negative results. You got to go in, give that man a clean slate because not every man is out to get you. And if every man you meet is out to get you, then you might be the problem and you're choosing the wrong men. So your picker is off because you're really not that important for a man to be trying to play you like that because come on, boo. Did I do the woman talk? Well,
There
you
you
know,
go. There you go. You
thank you
know,
so much. I do
the
what I can.
transition was there.
I and it's because it's crazy, and I don't disagree with you. I think at the end of the day, one of the best advice my therapist gave me, and I would say, ladies, if you are serious about being in a long term relationship, and you have any mother wounds, father wounds, relationship wounds, ex husbands, ex girlfriends, whatever you've been dating out there, wounds, please go to therapy before you bestow that onto an undeserving person, right? I don't think anybody else deserves your trauma dump. None of us want to deal with it. But I will tell you, one of the best lessons, and I talk about it in my book. I need to start making sure my books are scrolling again. I talk about it in my book, No Handouts for Black Girls, about the concept of if you want to fall in love and truly be in love, you also need to be prepared for the potential heartbreak that comes with love. And that heartbreak can come in many forms. It doesn't just have to be the most scandalous things of a man cheats on me or does something bad, right? Um, your significant other might get ill and you guys have to deal with illness. That within itself is a heartbreak because you're watching your significant other go through pain. Your significant other may pass away. Like there's so many other heartbreaks that happen that isn't just the cheating and the scandalous things. But part of being in love is also being prepared to be hurt by that love. Because as I describe it in my book, falling in love, and I can speak for Toshiba, but I know there's a lot of women who read that book that resonated. Again, falling in love is like standing naked in front of the man you love and giving him your heart outstretched in your hands and pray he doesn't drop it because our heart is the most vital organ in our body. Once your heart stops beating, you are dead. That is it. And you are giving somebody else your heart to hold on to. And I know how scary that is, but you have to get over the fear of him breaking it and trust the T word, and trust. And I agree with Broken Berlin. A lot of people's pickers are off, men and women, but you have to trust within yourself that you have done the due diligence you need to do on this person that you are giving your heart to, that they're going to protect it with everything they have. And guess what? If they don't, you got to just pick it up and move on. Being. Let me tell you, being played. I think is the biggest fear for women. Like, like being like giving this man everything, and then you turn around and this man is talking shit about you to his friends. Going back to that original thing, right? Like that man made a good point. Let me. I'm just gonna play that clip again, just so people got that part, because I think that part was vital. What he said. I'm actually gonna play it and pause that part so we can capture it. Give me 1 second. Here we go.
Ladies, let me explain something to you real quick. It ain't what that man call you, it's how he described you as his woman to his friends. You understand me? Listen.
It's not what that man calls you, it's what he describes you as a woman to his friends. Talk on that one for a second, twin.
Yeah. Um. Men that value a certain woman or a certain thing, they will speak highly value, very, you know what I'm saying, um, in high regards of the person to their friends and family. If you're someone that he don't care about, he ain't gonna say shit about you. He might talk to his boy, hey, yeah, man, yeah, good, yeah, bro, yeah, she got that good. But if she do got the good, but he value the woman, he ain't telling nobody that she got the good, because I don't know why trying to find out how good it is. So it's
Woo!
now granted, she would never know how I talk about her to other people because she's not around me all the time. Now, that's something that you won't know unless we're in a public forum, or better yet, if I bring you around the family. I think that's probably one of the main keys. If you meet my mom, you're in a good place. I'm not the type of person to bring 100 women around my mom. I'm not that guy. So if I bring around mom, you're good people. And of course, I'll tell you this too. Like, yeah, I only have X amount of women to meet my mom, and that's how, like, I've dated a lot of women. So I'm upfront with it. So I said, if you meet the mom, you're moving up. So you kind of have an idea when things are moving up or a certain place. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, yeah, this is all I'm do for everybody. You know. And then once you get around certain people, they're like, oh, Dwayne must really like you. He never bring anybody around here during holiday season. So you have to pick up on certain things. You have to also be locked in. You have to be listen what's going on. And like I said, and then when you are around my people, if I leave the room and they start asking a million questions, like, yo, so tell me about you, because Dwayne, he don't really he bringing nobody around. What I'm saying. Last person around was like 4 or 5 years ago. He must really like you, girl. Whatever. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Okay, Broken Berlin has two comments, and I'm going to respond, and I can only respond from a personal level. Is that even coming up on the screen? Did that come up on the screen? There we
What,
go.
like, woman ain't
Um,
cunning, they man
yeah.
ain't.
So he said,
Oh
like woman is finding their men in their group chat. I don't know anything about that. My friends don't clown the men that they're committing themselves to in a group chat. We do clown men who are interested in us. We do clown men that don't give a crap two craps about. We do clown men that come in on some bullshit and we give them nicknames, but we do not clown the men that we have decided to commit to, because that would be stupid on our part because we decided to commit to them. So you are a clown yourself if you're clowning the man you decided to commit to. But the men who we give nicknames during the dating phase because you don't want to tell your friend all the names of the men you're dating because they don't need to remember most of those mother effers names, only the one that you end up with. Yeah, some of those get clowns because they are clowns. But some of them are real clowns and show up as clowns, so they get clowns. So that I will say. Now to your second question, what percentage of women are speaking positive about the men while in the relationship? Every one of my friends speaks positive about the men because it would look stupid on them and I would clown them to say, then why are you with this man if all you're doing in our group chat is clowning him? It's stupid on your part because now you're losing time and getting old and gray, okay, with a man who it's dumb. I will tell you, in the 12 years my best friend has been married, and she got married, so 11 years now. 11 years that she's been married, and the 14 years that they've been together, I don't think I've heard her say one bad thing about her husband. And if there's anything she says, it's because we're in a group and he's there and we laugh about something. She's like, that stupid thing that you did? Ha 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 ha. And it ain't nothing disparaging. It ain't nothing like that because at the end of the day, she would look stupid. So if there are any women that look who are doing that, they're stupid. Anybody who's going to clown their spouse, their partner, the person that they've committed to, the man that they allow to sweat on top of them at night, the man that they got in all three of their holes, they look dumb because you got this man pounding you out and doing all these things. Then you want to talk about him bad? You look stupid. So I don't know women like that.
Question is, how would we
You
know?
can tell me I'm capping all day long, but I'm gonna tell you I don't play those games. I because I would tell my friends and they would tell me, then girl, why are you with him? If all you're doing is complain, let me tell you something. The way my patience level is set up, I don't have time for foolishness, not even my own. I don't have time for my own foolishness. There's times I'm like, girl, you're being stupid, and I don't have time for my own foolishness. So I don't have time for any of my friends' foolishness coming to me to tell me that they're laying down with a man every single night that they don't like. Well, leave him. And I don't want to hear, like, leave him. Bye, because now you're wasting my valuable precious time telling me something that I think is ridiculous, because you are wasting time. And as women, we don't have the luxury of time on our side as we get older for relationships. We just don't. You men do. We don't as women. I don't have the luxury of all the time in the world in my 30s and 40s just wasting time away with a man to talk badly about him for what? I look dumb. I look stupid as fuck. Pardon my language. Go on, twin.
No, I was saying, how would we know? How would we know if the woman that we're talking to at the time is talking negative about us?
How would you know?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It, I'm gonna tell you, and I will speak for myself. And I don't have an answer, Broken Berlin. I'm not even gonna pretend to have a percentage, because I'm telling you, I don't associate myself with those women, and I'm not one of those women. But I will tell you a sign. If a woman is disgusted with you, because I think, again, I would think it takes a lot for a woman to take whatever's going on in her home to then put it in a group chat. You understand what I'm saying? Because now you're sharing and that should be private. You're sharing what's going on in your home, and you're going into your group chat to say this. There has to be utter disgust. And most women can't hide contempt or disgust, because it's going to show up in their actions. Remember in Broken Berlin, and Broken Berlin, you'll remember this because a lot of people online agree with it. You remember when he said, when women do that, that sound, and you agreed, twins? That ish starts to come out on a regular basis when a woman has contempt or disgust or disdain. Because I'm not saying that there are not women in relationships right now who have disdain for them. Let's be clear. I'm saying I don't associate with those women because I don't have the patience, nor do my friends have the patience for me being that, because it makes us look stupid, and I'm smarter than that. So it starts to be when there is disdain, and her actions are going to start showing you, because that shit she's going to put in the group chat. Twins, apparently, you're supposed to answer the question. How many women do you think? What is the percentage? Because Broken Berlin wants a number, and I'm not about to prepare to give some ridiculous number that I'm gonna come off the top of my head that's gonna be inaccurate. I don't play those games. But he wants to know, what do you think is the percentage of women who are talking badly about the men that they're committed in a relationship? Let me put that up.
I'm gonna say about 85%.
That is a very large number. So you guys really believe only 15% of women do not talk badly about their men to their friends.
Yeah. I work in call centers and places where people are married, and I hear about husbands all the time.
What do you guys consider talking badly? I'd be curious to know some of those conversations.
I mean, anything like that stuff should be private. Like, I should not hear about how your husband doesn't take the trash out. I shouldn't hear how your husband doesn't not romantic enough. I shouldn't hear that, he don't do stuff with the kids. Like, nothing. Like, anything in your household, I should not know. Because all this is gonna make me be your work husband easily.
Hmm.
Oh, he don't do that. Oh man, I do that. Girl, I would. It's y'all make it, not you, but as overall, women make it very easy for men to have a work wife, because people complain all the time, and then once the lady that's relaying all this information about her husband or boyfriend or whatever, and she feels more comfortable, that's when we can move in for the kill. It's a cold world out here. But once again, I say this, and I don't keep saying this, season one, well, season 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wherever I jump back in here, accountability. There's no accountability. There's no one out there that's going to check a woman. Like I never seen a woman that was complaining about her significant other, right? And another woman heard talking about that and say, "Girl, you know you shouldn't be telling people about your man." Never have I seen that ever. 43 years of my life, I've never seen that woman check on that woman, even if it's pulled to the side. Nothing. People complain all the time, and men do it too. I'm not saying it's one way. It's both sides. Men do it all the time too. So it goes both ways. People complain about their significant others all the time.
I see you, Broken Balloon. I'm gonna add you, and I'm not gonna try it. I know it was easy for twins, but I'm not gonna play that game because I'm not gonna put out an erroneous number. Because I'd have to stick by it, and I just don't believe that. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but maybe it's my love of love. Maybe it's the rose-colored glasses that I don't know what's going on over the past couple of weeks. Broken Balloon, can you try to jump back in? We had this happen last week. I put people on the screen and then it pops out. Maybe it is my rose-colored glasses when it comes to love and relationship. I'm going to acknowledge I have a very rose-colored glasses. I am a big believer in love. And I want to believe, especially at our big age, that when you make a commitment to someone, you are going to protect that commitment by not talking about your significant other to anyone. Because I'm going to tell you, my father, God rest his soul, I lost my father 3 years ago this Tuesday. It was a very difficult day for me. But there are things that, as a man, that my father had done that I mistakenly found out about in my 40s. I'm 45. When I was 41, some information about my father had come out, and it was not the greatest information. And when I went down the line of the women in my life that knew this information, everyone had made it a point to keep it away from me because I was daddy's little girl. I saw my dad with a certain lens, and they made sure that this information never, ever came my way. And it came out by accident because a family member said something thinking that I knew because not everyone else, but my older sisters were aware of that information. So I say that to say, and I won't even ever say what the information was, but it did not paint my father in the best light. But I say that to say, I also come from a place where that does happen. I watch it happen in my own family that my father was protected from things that I probably should have known but didn't because we came from a place that you do not talk badly about your man. You do not talk badly about your significant other. And despite the fact that, again, if anybody's watched this show for a long time, they know that I'm the product of an affair. Neither my biological mother or my stepmother has ever sat me down and spoken negative about my father. And it's pretty fucking easy. It's pretty easy just on the basis of the fact that I am an affair baby for both of these women to speak negatively about my father. And I will tell you, if my mother was sitting beside you, know what she'd say? That man was a good man. He was an amazing father. He made sure that Toshiba was taken care of. That is what I've heard my entire life about a man who had a whole ass affair and had me a baby and had his wife raise his affair baby. So based on that, I'm gonna tell you, maybe I have some rose colored glasses on. Maybe, and not maybe, definitely my experience in life has made me believe that if you choose a man, your job is to protect that man especially from those people in your life who have the opportunity to bash that man if given that opportunity or given information. And there's something going on. I'm sorry, Broken Berlin. There's clearly something going on because you keep coming in and I keep bringing you in and it keeps kicking you out. We're gonna try this um again. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I don't. It was happening last week as well. I'm sorry for some reason if you can't come in, maybe take your comments. So I'm gonna acknowledge my rose-colored glasses may either make me not see that or has put me in a place that I associate with people who are not gonna do that because I'm gonna tell you my friends have who are in relationships who are married, yes, they might talk about frustrations they're having, like I'm really frustrated because, like I'm really trying to explain something to him. He's not really listening. Is maybe there a better way? Here's the situation. Is there a better way for me to explain it that so that he can get it? Because Toshiba, you and I are two different people, and maybe there's a way that you would explain it and I'm not doing it. But they're not going to come to like he didn't take out the garbage. His dick game is trash. He smells like because he would look stupid. Like, why are you with that man if all you're gonna do is complain about him? We're gonna try you. Are you on now?
I'm on now. Maybe I need to say it really
Oh,
quickly while I'm still here. Can you hear me? Am I coming through clearly?
Loud and clear.
I'm done.
Okay. I'm gonna say this to twins. But listen, you're a great woman, but what you just did is a red flag. Um, when men ask a question and women give us this huge soliloquy of everything except the answer, that is something that men can't grow old with.
And he's up. And I'm gonna respect that. I will take that red flag. But what I'm not gonna sit here and do on my show is come up with some number that I think is erroneous that I don't believe in. I will take the red flag and I'm gonna fly it high in the sky. Are you back on? Shit, I keep adding him in. Hold on. Let me try again to add you and I'll let you talk. So
It's not a
yeah.
red flag that you should be proud to have. Because again,
I'm
life
gonna
is
oh
about
I'm
the
gonna hold
art
on
of
to it.
conversation. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not a red flag you should be waving because it's an unnecessary red flag in the first place. It was a simple question, and twins easily was like, and a lot of women do this, and a lot of men complain about it. And twins, you can take this conversation and before it kicked off, but it's the truth. It was just a question. Why is it so hard to answer that question?
I gave
It,
an answer. I did not give a
no, no, no,
percentage, and you wanted that, and
but that's
I'm
but
not
see,
going to
but
give a
that's the
percentage.
that's why
Okay, then you know
and
what? 10%. Here
and
you go.
that's
You
why
got me
I'm
ten
asking.
percent. 10%. There's the number. Since you guys want a percentage, 10%. I believe 10% of women, it's a very, very low percentage, and it's higher than I really think, but I'm going to go with 10%. I think there are 10% of women who are talking badly about their husbands. There's my percentage. I'm not going to sit here and say 85 like Twin said or 52 or 45.5 because my life experience has never been where I have been in, even at work. And maybe twins, I don't work around enough married women. Maybe I'm just not party to some of these discussions. Maybe I'm not overhearing them. Maybe certain people know my personality and just don't have these discussions in front of me. There
Well, let
could
me
be
say
a
this.
number of reasons.
Let me
You're
say this.
back in the chat. Perfect.
Let me say this. Just because you don't experience doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Once
And
again,
I'm
you may
not saying that. I
I'm just saying,
agree. I agree.
but you may
And
be
I
a
agree with you.
unicorn where those things that you don't experience or don't see at all. But we men, we see and hear these things all the time.
But again, your like the percentage is based on life experience, correct? We can there
No,
is
no,
no study.
it's not just about
If there
experience.
was a study, if there was a study and I could
There is
go to
plenty
the
of studies.
numbers
That's
right
why divorce
now,
rate is so high. The conversation, the thing we're talking about now is the reason why divorce rate is so high. Think about how many women divorce because they're not happy. Well, they're not happy because they speak about XYZ because their significant other ain't doing ABC XYZ. That's why the
Mhm.
divorce rate is so high, and women file the most. It ain't men filing for divorce. It ain't the reason. Men are not the reason why divorce is so high right now. Men would rather stay in bad marriages to keep the family together. So
Mhm.
so so the number is much higher based off that fact, not off the Wayne's personal experience. Look at the overall divorce rate. It's through the roof, especially in the black community, off because women are not happy or whatever X may be. So it kind of goes
Mhm.
into what he's trying to say. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, and I completely respect it, but I'm also a person who's just not going to throw out numbers. My degree's in psychology. I'm from a study based thing. So if there is a study that says that this is the case, I'm happy to give those numbers. Kevin Samuels didn't just throw numbers off the top of his head. He did it based on wherever he went,
BlackDemographics.com.
blackdemographics.com.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And he took those numbers. So if I went on blackdemographics.com to speak just for the United States of America, and I don't even live in that country, yes, I will pull out a number. You guys wanted a number, and I believe it's a low number. That is just me. Why? Because that is not my lived experience. My lived experience, even from childhood, is not that women sit around and speak badly about the men they have chosen to commit their life to. And I am 45 years old, and I can tell you it is still not my lived experience from my friend group. So call it a red flag for me wanting to not add to negativity when that's not what I'm surrounded by. That is not my lived experience. So I'm not going to create a number when that's not my lived experience. I'm going to own my rose colored glasses. I'm going to own the fact that I have a very positive view on relationships, which makes me probably a red flag because I miss those things that I should maybe see, and I'm okay with that. And I'm definitely one of those persons. I would never consider myself a unicorn. I'm Toshiba. I can be the only me, but I'm not anybody's unicorn. I'm a woman with a vagina like the other billions of women left in this world. So I'm never ever going to make that comment. And so your comments are going. See, do you understand what I'm saying? I gave a number. You're not happy with the number because it doesn't go with whatever narrative it is that you want. But that's my percentage. You wanted a percentage. I gave you that percentage. That's not my lived experience. So I'm going to stick with my lived experience. I think it's a very, very low number. And I'm probably wrong. Just like twins is probably wrong. Twin shows 85%. He could be just as wrong as my 10%. Why is his 85% more acceptable than my 10%? Because I think it fits a narrative that we'd like to believe. And I just don't. If I believed in this narrative, I'm going to be honest, this show would not exist because I would have been wasting the last 4 years of my life speaking into this ether of things where change is never going to happen. I really created this show. The show is going to be 4 years old on September the 30th. I really created this show because I saw the best sides of love and I saw the best sides of Black love. And despite how I even came into this world, I was surrounded by so much love. And when I was seeing some of this negative out in the world, I truly believe that sitting down and having conversations and reimagining what our relationships could look like if we really saw things in a positive light. This is why I have this quote: fuck your feelings about changing the conversation around Black relationships. And I don't believe I can change them personally if my view is just like every other view about negative about what Black women are this and Black men are this. For me, it was the Black men are bad and black men are awful and black men don't court. And I did not believe that because that was not my lived experience. There are shows where that happens, and I'm so happy for them. But this is just never the show where I'm just going to believe that we are so lost that we cannot get back to where we should be, where we're getting couples. And sorry, Broken Berlin, if I am missing some of these comments. Sorry, go ahead, twins. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up.
Hmm.
So
Um,
again, you're saying 85% is more likely. Again, because it fits the narrative, and that's fine if that's your viewpoint. But I will tell you, it's just never going to be mine. I would quit this show today, and I would just end this show today if I truly believe that. I can't. For my own purposes, for what I want to do with this show, I cannot believe that there are 85% of people in marriages, or women, particularly, if you guys want to point out, who just have such disdain for the men that they're marrying, that they're out there not protecting the sanctity of their marriage. Because the moment you start talking about your spouse to your friends and your family, I don't care what anybody says, you're not protecting the sanctity of that marriage. Twins, sorry, go on.
um, I mean, I don't know what the question is at this point now.
Just comment on one because I know you're reading the comments probably faster than I am. Sorry. On Restream, they're not coming up as quickly, so I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
I mean,
catch up.
I'm seeing the comments and everything. You know, I mean, I pretty much said what I said, which kind of backed what he's saying in a sense, and also what my experience is. But I understand where you're coming from, where you personally just don't throw numbers out without doing your own research, which that makes sense as well. So I can respect that as well, right? But as far as yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what the
And
question.
Broken Berlin, just to be clear, I don't feel attacked. I'm very passionate. I don't take things personal. It's not that serious. It's a show. It's two people having respectful discourse. I don't feel attacked, but I also want you to understand just because I don't have a number that fits your narrative does not make me wrong. Like, Twins isn't wrong for his number. I'm not wrong for mine. Twins explains why he felt that number was so high because he's in an environment constantly where he hears that. I explain why my number is what it is because I'm in an environment where I experience the opposite. It's my lived experience. It's Twins' lived experience. Now, if you want to point me to a study, if there's somewhere I can go, I'm happy to go to that study and have that conversation. But what I'm not going to do is like again, this show just could not exist for me. I would, this show, I've done this show for almost 4 years consistently through a breakup, through ending my engagement, through my father's death, through so many things have happened in my life, and I've gotten up and did this show. And the moment I stop believing that these conversations that we have are going to change how men and women, particularly black men and women, get coupled up, I would be wasting my time. And I've got so many other things. So, again, maybe my rose colored glasses don't work for everybody else. But for me, I feel like I have to have those on because if I don't, this show is useless. It's a useless show. We can watch the Kendra G's and the 6x6 and the women who want 666 but have six baby daddies, and we can watch those, and we can watch all these other negative shows where black women are garbage and black men are awful, and all of these things because they exist, and we can watch those all day. I will not join you, but we can watch that. But I absolutely can't. I cannot, for the purpose of this show, truly believe that we can't make change. And sometimes we have to have difficult conversations, and sometimes we're going to not agree with, just like I don't agree with everything you guys say. You guys are not going to agree with everything that I say, but it doesn't make you any less right or me wrong. It's just we have different perspectives on the same situation. And I'm just like, that's going to be my point. A broken Berlin. I'm trying to
S- So my
see if
question
there's
I have,
anything else.
so a question I have for Mr. Berlin. So the based on the conversation you have right now, is it just you want her to answer the question? Um, is I'm trying to figure out. So is it based on her not just answer the question, or is it some, or you, or were you trying to go somewhere with that, or is it just the main point that she won't answer the question, and you're saying that this is why men are frustrated type women because you ask them a question, but they won't never give you an answer. I'm just trying to get understanding now as far as where you going with that, and where we at with it right now.
Thank you for clarifying. So because I've now answered the question, but my answer is not acceptable. Because I've said 10% against my better judgment.
No,
Thank
because
you. To answer,
because what I'm trying to do right now is trying to bridge the conversation back to the original topic. It's
thank
about
you.
men being intentional now, which is which is cool. If he was going somewhere with it, then I just want to hear what's the follow up part of that part. But if there's none, then I just want to know.
We can move on. I
Yeah.
was trying to get somewhere with it, but it's destroyed. Okay, let's bring it back. We're here to listen. Let's bring it back. I want to bring it back because this was a conversation for myself as well. Because until he answers, because as someone who's out there dating, who's someone who's dating intentionally, and who's someone who honestly, quite frankly, doesn't like dating. I see you coming in, give me 1 second, who doesn't like dating multiple people at the same time because I just don't have the bandwidth to do that. Understanding a man's intentionality is really important for me coming from men that I'm not dating. I'm going to be silent and I'm going to let you talk. Five, four, three, two, one, go.
Okay. A lot of times men are trying to have conversations that make it come full circle. And a lot of times when they try to have these conversations with women, women, I don't know if they purposely do this or not, but refuse to let the conversation come full circle because they add caveats or do a lot of things. And I was trying to get to a certain point, but again, I'll do it this way. You say 10%, fine, that's your number. So 10% on a
Ooh.
I don't know what's going on with the restream. I'm going to have to go to their customer service and figure out why um
Was he
why it keeps.
last week? Was he the one also? He joined us last week, right?
No, it was,
Right.
yeah, Mr. and Jeff are trying. Okay, five,
Okay.
four, three, two, one, go.
Okay. So again, 10% is your answer. It seems facetious, and this is why men shut down and having conversations with women because the answer seems like it's, well, 10%. Like you just gave one to kind of give one when you really didn't put any real critical thinking behind it. That's all, because that's all the conversation was. Okay, if you said 50, if you said that's fine, then the conversation could have gone full circle. But because you were so adamant about,
I kind of get what he's saying, where it's kind of like we ask you, "Hey, what you want to eat?" and then you don't know, and you give all these
But I
answers.
did. But here's the thing: I did put thought behind it. I chose not. Was I not thoughtful? I even gave an example in my own life because of my own lived experience. Why I'm not going to come up with a percentage because at the end of the day, my okay, five, four, three, two, one, go. I don't know. Are you on? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Going to wait till he comes back. But in my mind, I was thoughtful. Here's my thing. I've never been the person that you force to do anything. I'm not a follower. I've never been a follower. If my friends want to go somewhere and they're like, oh, it's going to be fun. No, I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to go. So I'm just going to go home. Right. So I thought I gave a very thoughtful answer based on what my lived experiences. This has been my lived experience. And so I'm choosing not to give a percentage because it's going to be a number that I'm going to pluck out of the sky, and my rose colored glasses, which I understand maybe doesn't work for this conversation, is going to make me give an inaccurate number. So you want a number, and I gave a number. And that was the number. Like it's still the number. And I was very clear, until I have real research that says if there was a report and they said we spoke to 10,000 divorced couples or 10,000 married couples, and we asked how many of the wives, and I would say, based on that study, then this is the number. And that's just who I am as a person. And if that makes me a red flag, I'm going to own that red flag, because what I will not do is just go out and throw something out because the majority of people feel that way when I do not. I do not feel that way. I do not feel that there are a bunch of women who are out there. Do I think that there might be a bunch of unhappy women in relationships? Yes. Do I think there are a bunch of unhappy people in relationships? Yes, COVID taught us that. COVID taught us that there was a bunch of unhappy people in relationships because when they were forced to spend 24 hours a day with each other, they realized, I don't like you that much. That is a reality. That is a fact. There is actually stats around that. But what I have not experienced is these unhappy people then turning around and putting, because the question was then putting in a group chat all of these terrible things about their significant others. Why? Because it looks bad on you when you have decided to bash the person that you want to spend the rest of, or chosen to spend the rest of your life with, or who was laying on top of you every night. You look ridiculous by doing that. So I very much answered the question. Was that not an answer? And then I gave a percentage that didn't he wasn't happy about, but it was a percentage based on my lived experience and the answer that I gave before that. So I would love Broken Berlin. We're cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I unhappy. I'm not upset. I'm gonna get off this and we can have a good laugh. Sorry, I'm trying to go back to the comments. One woman. Okay. Um, okay. Gossip culture means that the number. Of course, we have some, but that wasn't. So you're very right. We can all agree, and we're just not. We're gonna take off the woman. People complain about their partners all the time, all the time. It's natural. However, what you have the caveat is then taking those complaints and make it in a thing about a group chat and talking badly about that person. You can complain, you know what, like he farts in his sleeve. But really, like my definition of really taking it in a group chat and complaining, like you want to finish him. Is that Mortal Kombat? Right? Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Finish him. Like the moment you take it in our group chat, the way my group chat is set up, you are ready to divorce or end that relationship. Because for it to get to our group chat, now you're getting us involved and we didn't ask for this. So clearly you want to end this relationship. Because why are you bringing? Because I have to be around your husband all the time. We do things together. We travel together. We do. So now I know all. I can't have the same relationship with him because you're talking badly about him, and I'm going to look at you stupid because you're talking badly about. This is just bad. Yes, it was your question. Okay, we're not gonna go because I actually have the question. The question was the group chat. So we're gonna leave it there. But we're gonna go back quickly. Twins, I see you yawning. I know we're a little bit over time, but you said, and I'm gonna go back to what you said just to bring it back. You said that a woman is not gonna know that she's being played.
Correct.
Correct. Is there any signs that is just a strong indicator that this man is just not as interested in you? So no signs of being played, but is there signs where like girl, like he's just not as interested?
It's going to be the actions, but also it's going to be. I believe women who haven't had a father figure are the ones who
Mm,
don't struggle through navigating through men's bullshit.
Why'd you say that?
because as a man and me being a man and dated and XYZ, I'm gonna tell my daughter all the things that we say that we gonna do and XYZ. So she gonna be able to read through the bullshit and can understand that okay, he just saying that because he want XYZ. Because at the
Mm,
end of the day, if his actions don't lead up to what he's trying to say, I mean that's common sense right there. But common sense ain't common for everybody. If he said he wanted to be intentional with you, but what has he done since y'all started talking? Have y'all went ring
mhm,
shopping? Have y'all started investing?
mm,
Have y'all have a savings account together? Are y'all doing? Or how y'all plan y'all
mm,
future? What are that's what I'm saying? Like, what are things that are showing that okay, this is a future thing that we have? If he has his own kids, how often do he see his kids? If you don't see his kids, so what do you
ooh,
think is gonna happen if you have kids with him? Same shit. You're gonna be baby mama number three. It just, you have to sit back and pay attention. There's some things that to be right in front of your face, and you're like, oh, he loves me though. Does he? Does he even know your ring size? I'm just saying. Does he even know what type of diamond cut you even like? Princess cut. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell my daughter these things. So now, granted, I can only
mm.
tell her so much. It's always someone who's going to one up me, but I'm gonna give her enough knowledge to see through some bullshit. So it's all about action. So
Oh
if you,
wow.
over there, D strong, Dick strong, because you knock it out and nothing else, nothing. Okay, then that's on you. If he picks you up late from work or he got people in the car when he picks you up, like it's just a lot of things that y'all just want to
Ooh.
slide. And it's like if he really care about you, what he would never pick you up in your own car late. Or even if it's his car. It's to me things that just make sense. Or you guys sit in the back seat. Really? Or if you're walking down the street, he walk on the right side of you. Like he don't love you. These are things that men teach their daughters. So if you don't have that father, now granted, it's I don't speak in absolute. So there's always gonna
Mhm,
be a woman out there who don't have a father and is gonna be able to people out the game, right? I'm not speaking in absolute. I'm just saying that if there's a man, father figure, brother, is gonna put you on game and let you know when the guy is giving you the bullshit. You have to use some, discernment. You know what I mean? Don't use discernment when you feel like it's cheating. You use your other
good
intuitions on
word.
other stuff to figure out
Mhm,
that is he really intentional about you? How's he planning for y'all future? If he's the head of your house, what head of the house things is he doing? You may not
mm,
know everything, but it's something you just got to use common sense on.
mm,
That's all.
mm. I agree with Broken Berlin. Those are some great points. And you said two words that I think are important. Ladies, for this woman to say sometimes you gotta fuck that intuition. Use discernment. Discernment is a hell of a lot different than intuition. Because sometimes our intuition is completely thrown off when our backs are being blown out. Like let's just call it that intuition went whoopity whoop out the window, right? But discernment, but this is the truth. But discernment is discernment, and I think those are key. You've ended the show for me. Like, I don't need to ask any more questions. And ladies, that is a clip. I'm clipping that and putting that out because we sometimes we play ourselves. Not sometimes. A lot of the times we play ourselves because to your point, we ignore things that should be obvious that a man doesn't care, but because we care, we make excuses where there should be no excuses, and we actually end up playing ourselves. So I think that is sometimes the bigger thing. It isn't necessarily that we're being played, is that we play ourselves by not using discernment and by because again, love is not a noun. I said this on the show over and over again. Love is a verb. A verb is active. Love is something that is actively shown. I know it's a feeling. Oh, I just feel. I feel. Oh God, it's just the way I feel about him. but what have he done for you lately?
Ooh, ooh,
Ooh, ooh, yeah,
yeah.
right? And it's like, are you watching the action? When a man comes to your house, are you still the one taking out the garbage?
Come on now. Come on now.
He
Come
sees
on
the
now.
garbage bin and he's like, oh, okay, you get that?
If you see you struggling with something, he's selling couch. Come on now. If you come in the house and you start out beeping going on, beep beep, they don't like you. Please change that alarm.
Please.
The diary in or take it off altogether. He don't love you. It's all about action. And like you said, and those are all simple, basic things. If he cares enough, he'll make sure you're good. Does he make sure your windows are locked? Does he make sure the house secure? Like he just like it's just so many basic things that you know everybody looking for the superficial thing. Oh, he bought me this, a car. He bought me get my hair done, nails done. Okay, that's cute and all. But what is he doing that's going to secure you and your family? If you have kids, does he does anything for your kids? Not saying you have to, but is he does anything like talk to them, make sure, hey, you might not want to, you might want to listen to your mom when she tell X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Small stuff. Is he there for a long time or for a short time?
And like Broken Berlin's point, what we say and do is not to be analyzed so hard. And that is a mistake that many of us make. We not even just analyze it, Broken Berlin, we overanalyze. We try to put meanings and things and stuff that doesn't need to be there to make it make sense when the reality is it just is what it is. He took out the garbage because he felt that was his duty to do as a man. He makes you walk on the inside of him because that is his way of showing protection. He checks on you to make sure that you're good because he cares about you, right? He might ask you about your stuff financially because he wants to see where he can help. Like it is just that simple. Last comment, so Bokumas, I'm starting a short story about a man who goes across black community like a superhero Batman, changing smoke. Good. Make it a comic. Okay, get a good animator because that is is funny. But it's the simple thing, ladies. So like intentionality is honestly very easy, and I'm glad we got a little sidetracked. Thanks, Broken Berlin, for that debate because you just made me feel like this show definitely needs to continue for years to come. But you know what? Like, be intentionality is not that hard to see. Just like a man who was only around for a short time and not a long time, he makes it easy. So stop making excuses for men just because you like them. Because, like I said, I'm clipping what Twin said, and I hope that shit really goes viral because that will change the conversation around black relationships. Because it is not that hard to spot a man who's just not that interested in you. But before we go, as usual, we know how we like to end the show with our dating tips or marriage tips. Broken Berlin, if you have a dating tip, we'd love to hear it in the chat. I think you went first last week, Twin, so I think I will go first this week. What is my dating tip? I'm just going to go to um, what I said like a couple of minutes ago. Watch a man's actions, don't just listen to his words. When you're dating, a man shows up in actions. I find as women, we show up with words. We don't necessarily show up with actions, but men are action based. And so when a man cares about you, he will do action. And to Twins' point, it's not necessarily the big lavish stuff that many of us are looking for. It's those tiny things. It's when he's at your house taking out the garbage, making sure you're walking on the inside. If he's spending the weekend at your house, making sure, hey, babe, do you have groceries? Let's go grocery shopping to make sure that you have food in this house, or let me cash app you or PayPal you this money so that because he knows he's now an extra mouth to feed and he doesn't want to put that financial burden on you to feed his extra mouth, which is probably bigger than your mouth. It's just and it doesn't have to be tens and thousands again. He's not giving you Gucci and Fendi um, and all of that. But it is very much about watching a man's actions and not just listening to his words, because that will stop you from playing yourself. Oh, Broken Berlin and I had the same dating tip. So great. Twins, what is your dating tip?
My dating tip would be, ladies, if you have a older brother, an uncle, I mean, hopefully you have your dad, but if not, you know, or someone who's, a real guy friend that's not right, trying to get in your draws, a real one, you know, ask them and, have this question, have an open dialogue about intentionality and ask them in their opinion what it looked like to them to get their perspective. That's it. Pick a man's head that you do respect.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's hard because that's hard because a lot of them don't respect men. But we know when you do find the one you do respect, pick his brain. It could be a married person. It could be any man that you can respect. Pick his brain and ask for his personal opinion. What does intentionality looks like, so you can get a full understanding of what a man intentionality is. So you don't have to worry about being played. And,
Amen. And
yeah.
I missed Broken Berlin's dating tip actually.
Yes,
So I'm
especially
going
the
to
last
say yes
one.
to
Yes,
it.
not that friend. Correct.
Try to answer a man's question and answer the question. Thank you. And did I miss one?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no,
Okay. I didn't miss anything.
no.
Oh, and not your gay friend either. We digress. So thank you, everybody.
That's it.
You know how I feel about the whole gay friend thing. You know, Twitch. Share, subscribe, like. Make sure you share this with everybody. This was a good conversation. Thank you, Broken Berlin, for engaging me in a very good discussion. Come back for more discussion. Again, I started this show to change the conversation around relationships, and I'm going to go down fighting, trying to change the conversation around back relationships. If you want to join the show, I will be having a panel about marriages with Jeff. If you'd like to join that panel and have a discussion with Jeff or Jeff and his wife, I'll give you more details. Please email me at fyftheshow@gmail.com. The whole point of this show is to get more people married if it's the last thing I do. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Broken Berlin. Thank you for those of you who are watching on Instagram and those of you we did not see in the chat. We appreciate you. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Good night. Good night to you